1, 2, 3, 4, I declare a culture war. Women are not men, fix it now or there's the door. VPNs blocked to brainwash you more. Cancel you for beliefs political. Big Brother is watching you hard. DI has lowered the bar. Disney, MasterCard, reputation torn apart. Sydney Sweeney, type to attack your heart. Big titties cause the tears in your eyes. Embrace the goon or you will not survive. Big Brother said, show me that card. In the way you might end up charred. 1, 2, 3, 4, BlackRock is listening. Mind your own business or end up missing. Hello, beta testers. Like, comment, and subscribe, or join as a patron if you appreciate the direction in which things are going. Trump's involvement in DEI's demise is going to increase the amount of finger pointing among entities to a level you probably thought impossible. Earlier I saw someone retweeting Smash JT posting a Spider-Man PC mods meme, and of course the big titties triggered them, and it had me wondering, in the future, do you think they'll make Mary Jane a man, as I imagine that's the only natural progression for making her a grandmother? Do you think we'll be gay matchmaking again, because that's what we were doing in the last game? And do you also think we'll be playing as yet another powerless girlfriend in the superhero game, because we got to tick all of those DEI boxes because she's disabled? And you know, either way, the titties were triggering these losers into going after Smash JT's kids, because that's what you do when you're part of that radical cult online. We used to be civil around here, and then the savages arrived. And rest assured, if it comes to acknowledging or noticing that women aren't as pretty as they could be, it's Death Threat City. Ooh, it's Death Threat City, come on. Remember this picture and what happened to the person who was brave enough to put it out there? You've likely heard that President Trump has recently signed an executive order guaranteeing fair banking. It's relevant because it restricts debanking based on political and religious beliefs, something a fellow YouTuber just suffered for a reason that I guess was not made apparent, and maybe it was a mistake that maybe might not have been sorted if it didn't get as loud as it did, but who knows. In so political a time that entities are forming cults to openly target and deplatform people for disagreements, to cancel anyone that doesn't line up and bow or submit to their delusion. I mean, we gonna pretend we don't know what woke is, mutahapu. But you know, I don't know everybody's situation, and maybe their eyes are crusted over with filth and can't see the people loading their guns and demanding everybody say trans rights. Make no mistake, going after guns, anime, and gaming made this censorship nonsense high profile enough that this pendulum shift was imminent. But even though I've warned woke against priming the pendulum like a catapult, it was never enough, something that you've definitely noticed among savage and radical entities eager to veer into oncoming traffic because they're not getting their way. The spines and people that I looked to as allies were non-existent, and the balls were neatly tucked in purses. But you, beta tester, you made noise, and as I've so eloquently articulated for years, in a generation too stupid to understand it, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. To phrase this concisely, the president needed to emphasize banks canceling people because of political beliefs as unlawful, because of how ignorant, radical, liberal entities became publicly targeting people and tracking their purchases and online behavior simply because of what they believe in. As I warn, you shouldn't be surprised when the evil you so proudly sow is the evil you inevitably reap. Just as I emphasize how admitted racists at sensitivity consultancies like Danny Lalander's proudly hire only blacks because, in her words, it creates a, quote, safe work environment, end quote, then the same behavior should be expected in return. That's what fairness is, right? An eye for an eye? Did you see the latest race swap over on Netflix where they challenge beauty standards? You know, it's just a staff full of asswipes triggered by Sydney Sweeney and breast because Nami can't even have those in your anime adaptation. Yikes. I clock the inhabitants of reality no longer caring whether the delusional entities parroting made up and universally rejected definitions of everything believe us or not. What has been done to media and art, escapes, outlets, has buried the bar so deep that AI, in 5 words or less, can craft something more appealing for less money and no time compared to the slop they're wasting hundreds of millions of dollars and years on. What is desired versus what DEI mandates in an effort to just be able to speak, to play, to laugh, to have fun, to live. These things are to be human. We moved away from the traditional and the AI algorithms. The technology was abused to climb through our virtual window to further scan, record, and screen in and outgoing messages for terms that connected us to anything that you deemed problematic. In so woke a time that you have movie directors and producers openly discussing queer coding 11-year-old kids, but we're the sick ones for wanting something entertaining in our fucking home, right? Because we're the violent ones for wanting to play a simulation, because we can distinguish reality from fiction. Okay in your book, okay in your show, okay in your movie, but anime, manga, video games, no, no, no. Useful idiots like Collective Screech, a gaggle of crotchety old ladies living up to the upside down Australian fucking name, pearl clutching with their stupid nonsense. Big breasts can only be achieved through surgical enhancement. You're enthusiastic about movies like Cuties. Video games must be causing violence, but most importantly, look at you. That's how we gonna sum things up now. Look at it. That's how I sum Concord up. 2 weeks, full refunds. Less than 1,000 players. Even the robot has pronouns. Guess what? The executive order says that what you have been trying to attempt is now unlawful. We have been systematically targeted and blocked out of our very ability to express ourselves. Silenced, blocked, banned, filtered, shadow banned. We'll see who's getting filtered now. You entities are living up to your insignificance. I imagine you could only feel close to happiness dispensing portions of the misery that you know. Previously I said this gets scary when the sports game bros, the furries, the gotcha whales, the crypto dudes, they turn their gaze. And even a combination of the two would not be unlike recognition from a Eye of Sauron. Disney recently settled with Gina Carano, an actress they tried and failed to force to include pronouns in public profiles. They then tried and failed to force Gina, like it's a Dragon Age video game, onto a Zoom call so she could apologize for the almost misgendering she's done because she's not taking it seriously enough. Disney joined the popular government and pronoun play movement at the time, which was to cancel because how dare this woman choose? And if it's not the choice they had approved of, then it's evil. As far as you're concerned, that's the wrong side of history. Very German. Whatever Gina was sitting on was something that Disney didn't want to come to light. They needed it in the shadows, where they and their rat asses belong. so it's been settled. In Trump's executive order, it outlines that reviews are in order to see if in the past unlawful debanking pertaining as specified to matters political or religious occurred. I'm here to emphasize in plain terms that the woke era is over. They're going to be repackaging and renaming and shuffling that DEI cancer in ways that, may be a little more subtle. But we done for right now. The fog that they kept you in has dispersed and the hill is no longer silent. A great many things will be reviewed, and the one thing I said to Gamergate still rings true. The side who wins doesn't need to silence. They don't need to hide and deny what they've done. They don't need to alter, redefine, or rewrite. You've operated inflicting fear and controlling a narrative. You force. You hate. Inflict fear. Divide. Enough. So now, one side will continue furiously scrubbing, deleting, and removing the disgraceful, unprofessional, and subhuman behavior that they were once so proud to openly wear as a badge because it was wrong and they knew it, but some of them truly were stupid enough to believe that, well, it's their side, so it's okay. After telling lies and attempting to publicly gaslight, even MasterCard is facing scrutiny. After applying pressure and having other people do your dirty work to flex MasterCard, reputation, no risk. You were never going to face the scrutiny of AI being a constant third party in every room of your house, gathering, processing, and feeding information, training itself off of you without your consent. But you will face the scrutiny of the people. It never ceases to amaze me that you choose gamers. Gaming isn't something we do, it's something we are. We understand the true nature of the game is that the only way we can stop playing is if we punch the fuck out. We can earn money enough to sort of be left alone by certain people, but we understand our position in the Matrix fairly well, and no matter how Orwellian the nightmare gets, you're not going to convince certain idiocracy extras that we're doing anything more than playing a clout lottery and then ending up with a hand up our ass because we better not say the wrong thing. All that data from the intelligence agencies that you've clearly lost sight of which autistic Jackie Chans truly don't want any trouble. But you're forcing their hand now. And for a time, I thought maybe this was all according to plan, that the AI that you've had iterating on itself and evolving since the 80s had prophesied many different versions of what could happen. But some of these knee-jerk reactions make it pretty clear a lot of this has gone off the rails. I can talk all day, but I want to address the woke who are too ignorant to even receive advice. Thank you for labeling yourself. Thank you for training the AI. Thank you for showing us how susceptible you are to literal Reich playbook tactics that you just watch get dressed up. Assume the party escort submission position and someone will be right with you, man. I simply wanted to watch some anime and taste another culture, uncensored, unfiltered, untampered with, no poison, from the cultures and politics of activist busybodies. I wanted a fun movie or a show to share with a loved one, take the edge off, release the steam in between being a cog in the machine, something most of us would gladly be if we were allowed our outlets. But here we are. I wanted to play a game. A simple escape, but it's become so political, with self-inserts and losers wanting to see themselves with they old repulsive ass, that modern cancer is triggered by a feminine statue, too offensive to nitwit hacks that are so talentless they forget they're altering a remake made by greater men than they could hope to be, male and female edited out because that's controversy, to the types of pronoun wearing yutzes that they got on these projects. Literally anybody but you. Anybody but you. Big Titty is against your DEI rules, so you're damn right mobile gotcha games are going to be making tens of millions of dollars a day, because they'll choose anything but you. I've seen talent muzzled, crippled, and ousted. No more. I am moved daily thinking of what we've lost, what culture has lost, and anger is so much more than you deserve. I've decided to inform, inspire, instruct a future where people do not accept the shackles of ignorance. I keep telling you, you're accessing a trial right now, a beta test that they intend to charge you for when they knock you down to a worse version and call the one you're using now the premium iteration. Jackass Tech and Dev tries to make it about something other than a skin that DEI has mandated. A game called Contraband has been canceled. Another Sweet Baby game? Beta testers, thank you. Sponsors, patrons, thank you. Even former heads of Kotaku can acknowledge that what it calls gooner outfits, what people in reality call a swimsuit, have the effect that woke wishes it had. So all these people losing their mind over Sydney Sweeney, they're having the Hogwarts Legacy boycott effect. And it will continue to firmly situate the new normal. I love ya. And special thanks to Captain Something Wong for the biggest super comment I've ever received. What are you looking forward to? Let's hear that in the comment section below. Ah, damn.